Would Nick ever consider doing a video wearing a tank top?
I don't think I even own any tank tops. I mean,
Sure?
it's not something I've really ever thought about.
Konnichiwa, Basu desu.
ニックです。今日は皆さんの質問にお答えします。
楽しんでね。
Okay, so first of all, I just want to thank everyone for the patience over the last month or so. We've not released a video in a little while, but we've both been so busy. I mean, I've been to Japan for a couple of weeks.
And I've sat an exam, which I failed.
Yeah, wish him luck, everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to retake it in September, so
It'll be fine.
fingers crossed I'll get it then.
It'll be fine.
Yes. A few weeks ago, we posted a question on Instagram asking you guys for any questions that you might have for us. If you didn't see that, then you need to add us on Instagram.
The response on Instagram has been amazing. We've had hundreds of comments,
Yeah.
and we've been keeping an eye on our YouTube comments for over the last few months, and we've made a list of some of our favourite questions, and we'd like to answer those for you today.
Yeah, we've had incredible questions asked. We're going to answer some of those today, and some of them we're going to make videos about.
So if your question hasn't been answered today, don't worry, we'll probably get around to it another time.
So without any further ado, let's answer the questions. How did you guys meet each other?
It's a good one, isn't it?
It is a good one. Let's start from the start.
Start from the start.
Where did it all begin?
I think we were about 17 years old, and we had a part-time job at a garden centre.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we were both college students at the time, and we met there.
we did. We used to work weekends, Saturdays and Sundays,
So, yeah.
in the garden centre.
It's a busy job, but we loved it, didn't we?
We had a really good time there. I really enjoyed that job. And it's strange, you meet a lot of people and you don't always stay in touch with people that you work with, but me and Nick have always stayed in touch ever since we were 17.
13 years on.
Nearly 13
Nearly
years,
13
yeah.
years on, so yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so next question. How tall are you?
I am 180 centimetres.
I think I'm also exactly 180
You're
centimetres.
more or less the same, yeah. So my other friends, I try and get shorter friends so that I look tall. If I'm in photos and stuff, I look taller than everybody else. But
And if I don't look tall on the photo, then I'll Photoshop it so I do.
yeah, because being quite tall in the UK is
Desirable.
good. It's desirable, yeah, it's attractive.
I think we're just above average.
Yeah, right at average height.
Above average, surely.
Is Bass Mike Ross from Suits?
He actually is. Alright, the next question. Do you speak any other languages?
I do. I speak Dutch fluently. I was born there and I lived there till I was 5 years old. So I spoke Dutch and then I moved to England. I speak English. I speak a little bit Spanish, tiny bit German, and I want to learn Japanese. I need to learn Japanese. When my exams are over, I'm going to learn Japanese.
I never knew you were so multilingual, Bass. A little bit. I speak a little bit of Japanese. I mean, I've been studying it on and off for the last few years, and now that we're doing this, I'm taking it a lot more seriously.
Yeah.
Spend about an hour a day studying every day. So hopefully, if anyone bumps into me in Japan, then I'll be able to speak back to you.
So, Nick, what made you interested in Japan?
I think it's really hard to like pinpoint, really.
There's not one thing.
No, I mean, obviously I went to Japan when I was like 18 the first time.
Yeah.
But I'd loved Japan for as long as I can remember before that. I think it's like a mixture of like the culture. And we see it on TV and it looks so different and fascinating when you're a child.
Yeah.
Because most of the stuff you see is around like the feudal periods. So we see the architecture in like the historical times. And it just looked beautiful, like completely alien to what we're used to.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I had a choice in 2014. I could go to Japan with Nick, or I could go to America with some of my friends. And for me, it was the easiest decision to make because I wanted to experience a culture and a country that was completely different to our own, different architecture and everything else. And that's the reason why I went to Japan.
I think it's one of those places where if someone goes, they fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of countries you don't always want to go back to immediately.
No.
But everyone I know who's been to Japan always wants to go back.
I've never spoken to anybody that's been to Japan that hasn't loved it and wanted to go back.
Even if you have different expectations of it, a lot of people will go there just because they're anime or manga fans.
Yeah.
I mean, that fulfills their criteria.
Kind of a little bit nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine if they want that.
Yeah,
It's there
absolutely.
for them. But if you're into the more cultural side, it has that in spades as well. And I think it's just, yeah.
I'm going to go as far to say that people that have visited Japan, they talk to each other like they have something in common that not many other people do.
It's almost
Do you
like-
ever get that feeling?
Definitely, it's almost like you're part of an exclusive club.
Kind of, because I came back from Japan we came back from Japan in September.
Yeah.
And after I came back, I went on a course. First thing I did, the very next day, was go on a course. And I missed the first day of the course. It was a 3-day course. And my teacher said, you know, you're late, you've missed a day. I said, yeah, I'm really sorry, I got stuck in in Tokyo and I struggled to get home. She's like, oh, you're in Japan? I said, yeah. And there was a whole classroom full of people and she was stood at the front, I was sat near the back, and she's like, oh, what do you think of Japan? It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And straight away, we were having a conversation and she wanted to know what my experience was in Japan because she went 20 years ago and she absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's just so rare to find someone else who's been. So when you do speak to someone, they're always so receptive and want to chat about it.
Yeah, because it's different and all of the experiences you have in Japan that are different to here, people want to talk about it. Straight away, people want to know what your experience was like, I feel. So...
Benedict just love talking about how much you love Japan.
What was the question again?
What was the question?
Was, what made you become interested in Japan?
I think that's in there somewhere.
I think we've answered that, kind of.
Next one?
Yeah, it's different.
It's different.
There we go. That's the...
So we've got another question asking if we want to live in Japan in the future.
Do I want to live in Japan in future?
I think it's one of those questions where if you asked me 10 years ago, it would have been a completely different answer to now.
Yeah, because I'm 30 years old, I don't have that much time to live there. Yeah, if you're in your 20s...
Sounds like you're too old, mate.
Well, if you're in your 20s, you've got a couple of years to experience different things before meeting someone and settling down, having a family and stuff. Whereas because I'm 30, I don't feel like I have that time anymore. I've already had those years. So I did different things with it. But would I like to live there in future? If the chance was there, through work, to live there for 6 months or a year, I would happily do it. I would give it a go. I'd be excited to do it.
It's a different one really, because I mean, I absolutely adore Japan. I could live there definitely. I think there are problems with living there, like I wouldn't necessarily want to work in a Japanese working culture. I've heard things like that. But for me, I love England so much as well. For me, they're like two perfect countries. Of everywhere I've been in the world, those are the only two that I would want to live in.
To travel in between the two and live for weeks or months at a time in between the two, for me, would be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So if I could spread my time between Japan and England, that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
But when I was 20, I did apply for the jet scheme. Yeah. So I mean, my intention was to live in Japan way back then. Things change, buy houses, get jobs.
Meet people.
Life changes.
Yeah. Okay, another question sent in. If you could teleport to any place in Japan, where would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it?
I think it is a tough one.
The best time I've had in Japan was in Kusatsu Onsen in Gunma Prefecture. Absolutely loved it there. It was just, I mean, it's perfect weather. We went there. It was covered in snow, and just being able to sit there in the onsen, baking hot, it's absolutely beautiful.
We being you and Chiaki, not me.
Yeah, not you. I went there. I went there a couple of years ago with some friends, and it was absolutely stunning. Yeah. I would love to go to some more onsen, but that, unfortunately, that's the only one I've been to. I've
not been to any onsen. I think there's still quite a lot of Japan that I need to see. If there was one place, and I could only pick one, it depends on who I'm with. If I'm with you, I'd love to go back to Osaka again. Yeah. Because I loved Osaka.
It's a great city.
But if it was with like a girlfriend or with my parents, like family and stuff, it would be Kyoto. I'd go to Kinkakuji. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So that's the one thing for me, if I was to go with a family, they would need to see.
Okay, next one. Where is the most attractive city in the world?
Oh, that's another really tough one. I can only pick one.
You can only pick one, yeah.
There are some cities in England that I think are really attractive. Yeah. Places like Bath and York. Bruges in Belgium is very, very attractive. Amsterdam's very nice. Kyoto obviously has a lot of beautiful places, like Kinkakuji and Arashiyama with the bamboo forest.
Monkey
Park. And Vegas is really amazing as well, but I wouldn't say attractive. I'd say Kyoto. What would you say, Nick?
Again, it depends. I mean, like, I think mine would definitely be in Japan.
Yeah?
I think, yeah, absolutely. I think, again, it depends. If you're looking for vibrancy and like just activities, entertainment and stuff, I think Osaka is amazing. I think Tokyo is amazing as well, but Osaka, I just find absolutely, like, the people there are amazing, the food's amazing.
It's got a really cool vibe, hasn't it?
Just such a great atmosphere around.
Yeah, Osaka. It was my favourite of the three that we went to.
Yeah, and again, like, I mean, if you're talking in terms of sheer beauty, then Kyoto.
Yeah.
Just because it's stunning. There's nowhere in the world quite like it. That's stunning as well, but like.
I guess it's very small, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a much smaller scale, whereas Kyoto is just, you talk about UNESCO World Heritage sites. You barely need to walk 5 minutes in any direction to find one. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's not one, but
you can't pick one.
No, you can't pick one.
Okay, so what do people around us think about Japan? People that haven't visited Japan, what is their image and their idea of Japan?
Yeah. I think a lot of things that people think about Japan are true. Like there's aspects of it that are very traditional, has a strong culture, the people are very friendly.
Very respectful.
Very respectful. And I think the cleanliness, everyone knows how clean Japan is. And also everyone thinks it's really futuristic, which I think is the one thing that maybe isn't quite as true as they think.
Futuristic? What are we talking futuristic?
I think
robots do everything.
Well, there are robots in Japan though, aren't there? There are a lot of robots.
Robot Hotel?
Pepper. Have you ever seen Pepper?
No.
She's a little self-serving like store assistant.
Okay.
In shops.
Oh no, wait. Was that the one in the suit shop? At the front?
I think it probably was, yeah, with a little tablet on her desk.
Yeah, you could like pick the material for your suit, everything like that.
So maybe it is, maybe it is more futuristic.
Yeah,
the robots don't always work.
That's the thing, it has futuristic ideas, but it isn't like everything's futuristic.
Yeah.
Maybe the one thing that people don't think of when they go to Japan, that they probably should have, is vending machines.
Oh yeah.
They are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a vending machine for everything.
Literally, I went to an island, Miyakojima, I'm sure everyone knows it, Okinawa, and just out in the middle of a field, nothing around, no houses anywhere, there's just a vending machine. No one's there, no one's using it, but there we go, that's Japan. What's your favourite Japanese word?
My favourite Japanese word? I love food, so I would either go with itadakimasu, which is obviously thank you for the food because you're about to eat, which is always good, or oishi. Oishi. Because it means that it tasted good.
Yeah, and it always does.
It always does. So I love food. They're my two favourite Japanese words, I think.
Yeah.
You?
I don't know if it's my favourite word, but I think in terms of how versatile it is, sumimasen. Because you can use that in so many ways. If you're like walking past someone, sumimasen. If you're trying to get someone's attention in a restaurant for more drinks or more food, sumimasen.
Yeah.
So I just think in terms of how many times you can use that. You say it so many times in a day.
Oh god, mate, that is the word of our holiday when we went there in 2014.
Yeah, it's a good word. I'd say maybe not my favourite, but just in terms of how often they use it, it can't really be denied.
Here we go. This is the best. This is one of the best questions for me. Completely irrelevant, but for you, it's a perfect question. Do you like Hugh Jackman?
I love Hugh Jackman. I love him. Yeah, he's such a great guy.
Yeah, he always comes across as a funny guy. I love The Greatest Showman.
Love his movies. I mean, I'm a massive musical fan, so Les Miserables, The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
I'm like massive fan of both of those, but he just seems like such a cool guy.
Whenever he's interviewed, he just seems really down to earth.
He does,
nice guy.
He's on tour in England at the moment, I think, or later this year.
Yeah.
And tickets just sold out instantly. You couldn't get anything. Oh, so good. Wanted to go. But there we go, yeah, no, I loved him. Love him.
There you go.
Next one's a little bit of a controversial point.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a lot of this on TV in Japan when I was there, yeah. What do you think of Brexit?
I think there's one thing that everybody can agree on, is that we want it to conclude. We want something to happen, we want it to finish, because everybody is sick and tired of talking about it. If there is a great way to start an argument, it is to talk about Brexit.
Yeah, I think whether you're for it, whether you're against it, you just don't want to talk about it anymore. You're fed up with it, you just want it to be finished. So, yeah,
It's gone on for a long time and it may still go on for a little while longer because it is a very complicated situation.
I try and avoid it at all costs.
Yeah. Why is it so difficult to make British friends?
I think generally, English people are really easy to speak to, British people. If you speak to someone, a British person, then they are going to be receptive, they are going to talk back, and they're going to be quite happy to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember when we were in Kyoto, like the first time round, we had a lot of school children come up to us and had like a
survey.
Yeah, a survey, a load of questions they needed to ask us as part of their English field trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, we were more than happy to help.
Best advice would be is just to speak to them.
Yeah, speak to someone, see how it goes.
We're not scared.
What's the worst that can happen? Yeah.
Don't be worried about making mistakes in your English either.
No.
Like we're very patient in the same way that Japanese people are when we try and speak Japanese.
Yeah.
I think we understand that it's not your first language.
You learn through making mistakes.
Exactly.
If somebody corrects your mistake, then you've learned something today.
So, what are your favourite foods?
My favourite foods, things that we bring back from Holland. When my dad goes, or if we go to Holland, we always bring back things like syrup waffles, Dutch cheese,
Mayonnaise.
Dutch mayonnaise. Oh, I love Korean food at the moment.
Yeah.
I love Korean food. Buldak, cheese, dak galbi.
Yeah.
Brilliant. They're my favourite foods, I'd say. Dutch food, Korean food.
If I was going to pick three, I mean, my third one would probably be Indian food. Indian food.
I do love Indian food. Indian
Too late.
That's my third. I only had two. Indian's my third.
Indian food's so popular over here, and it's done so well in England. We have such like a massive like Indian population here, and they just get it right.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. So that's my third. Second would probably be Korean. I love Korean food. Again, spicy. I love spicy food, so that helps. And my number one is Japanese. Obviously, I love Japanese food from like, it could be just fast food, like ramen. I absolutely love ramen. To fine food, I love sushi. It's just
Karage chicken, man.
even if you go to izakaya and eat karage chicken, we've gone over our love for Japanese food before, but it's always going to be a top for me.
So this is a bit of a strange question. I like it. Would Nick ever consider doing a video wearing a tank top?
I don't think I even own any tank tops. I mean,
Sure?
it's not something I've really ever thought about.
Mate, look good.
I feel a bit naked. You should put one on as well.
No, he didn't ask me, he asked you.
Would you do it?
Oh yeah, I guess I would.
Sushi.
You think so?
Yeah, we look great. We look great.
I'm not so sure. Next question. Are you lovers?
Are we lovers? No.
Are you sure, Nick? Are you sure?
I need a bit of time to think about it.
We're definitely not lovers, but somebody keeps asking on some of our videos whether we're lovers, what it was like holding hands in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I don't know who you saw holding hands in Tokyo, but it wasn't us.
It wasn't
I
us.
promise you.
Okay, so our final question. Are we brothers?
We're not brothers.
We get this all the time.
We do. Not just from the viewers, but I've been asked this by people I work with.
Like, even when we went out the other week, we had people asking us, I think even people we're friends with on the night out saying, are you guys brothers?
Yeah, we're not brothers.
I don't think we even look alike.
Not that much, no. As you can see, we're not lovers or brothers, and we don't take ourselves too seriously.
We just like to wear grey tank tops on videos.
We don't. We hope you've enjoyed the video of us answering your questions. Give us a like if you have.
As always, we love reading your comments in the comments section, so please leave us any messages below and follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with our announcements and leave us messages on there as well.
We've been Gaijin, and we'll see you again soon. Matane!